Penny Jake, the tribe has spoken.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Aw, fuck you too, sweetie.
I'm JJ, one of the original Tribe of Nerds members. You can catch me on Marvel, Pokemon, and other gaming podcasts.
What up? It's Josh, resident superhero nerd, but I also dabble in the occasional super villain as well.
Some may know me as the Chaos Gremlin, but really I'm just Joe King.
Pikachu, use Volt Tackle! Good job, Pikachu!
On the Tribe of Nerds. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Austin and I are here for Season 3 of the Traitors, the finale. We're finally here. So, what did you think of this finale, Austin?
Woo! I have been rooting for the Bambi since day one, and we got one of them, man. Freaking Gabby killed it. I was happy. I will say that's probably the word I would say, happy. I enjoyed the finale. I wish they would have put the beginning of it at the end of the last episode, where Danielle basically goes home. Because I'm like, wow, that was really like notable. Like I the whole week I was thinking about it, and I'm like, she's gonna write her name down. I mean, it's like the face Britney's giving, the whole arc of that. Like, I'm just like, she's gonna screw her over again, isn't she? And then like as soon as that happened, I already knew Britney was gonna get screwed. I mean,
Yeah.
So, and then the 4, I mean, I actually kind of thought Dolores might have been getting voted out just because of the tension between her and Ivar.
Right.
But I guess they were just cool, like the whole 4 of them, and I guess I didn't really like get that until later in that episode. But it was cool that they all went to the end together and finished it out. I mean, it's so wild that Dylan like kind of dominated the season as a faithful, but yeah, I enjoyed the season.
Yeah, I feel like I enjoyed like the first half of it. I haven't been shy about admitting that like I didn't enjoy the back half of this season. I think once a lot of like the bigger personalities were gone, this season kind of took a nosedive for me. Like I still think there were good moments. I think like Danielle overacting. I thought like Britney stabbing her in the back here in this finale to open it out, which I agree should have been at the end of last week, but that stuff was really, really good. And then, I mean, I will say just like when it got to the reunion, like that brought back what was so good about like the early part of this season was like, you know, everybody feuding and like the personalities, and like that was something that I was missing, I guess, from like this back half of the season.
Yeah, when you go into watching a show and you're like rooting for a set group of people and they all kind of go out like first 4 or 5 episodes, I totally get it. Because like me, on the other hand, people that I was rooting for made it way longer than vice versa. Like for example, I don't know if I specifically said it in episode 1, but I know I've been vocal about Gabby and Chriselle going far, and that I was excited that Gabby was, you know, in the game. And I think I said Sierra. I think those were like the few names I kept saying back and back and back. But like it was cool to see. I just like the game so much, like of Traitors, because such a different complex type of game than like Big Brother or Survivor, because like you have to play differently. You have no jury first off that's going to vote for you at the end. So you can play a type of game like Ivar, who literally just kind of floated around the entire game and kind of just gave his, you know, opinion when needed. You know, Dolores was a hot mess, expressed that, you know, I enjoyed watching. I think she admitted it, that she sometimes was lost, but I mean, she was extremely proud of her game. Like, I don't know. I just enjoyed watching the season for the game of Traitors. And I mean, Danielle going through her train wreck of of a Traitor game. I mean, that was honest. I enjoyed watching her go nuts. I mean, like she was putting it on. Like on Twitter, people were crying about her game. Like, I mean, at the
Mhm.
reunion, they admitted half of them had no idea because of all her emotional breakdowns and promises and illusions. I mean, she did very well if, they couldn't see it. I mean, we're gonna see it because we're watching the damn show. But
Yeah.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I think maybe the one biggest thing I wish didn't happen was Danielle recruiting Britney.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
think that really screwed her game. I think that's just when it got turned around because I know Britney admits in the reunion also that like she was like I think she said she wasn't I don't think she said she was confused, but I think she said that she felt that Danielle was going to come after her or something like that at 6 or 5. But I mean I can see that because it was such a weird like entrance. I was telling Kristen and my mom this. I almost would have rather have seen like Dylan in there
Mhm.
with her. I think Danielle and Dylan I think that was with you actually that I think
Yeah.
those two would have went really far together.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I don't know. There was don't like I guess where I was going with that is the Traders just did so much weird plays that I just couldn't grasp. So that's probably the one thing that I was like, huh, about during the season. But I mean, we got lively people like Tom, I loved. I thought
Yes.
he was hilarious. I
Tom
didn't
was
know his
good.
background at all, but
Mhm.
Tom was hilarious to me. Dylan being one of the only, I think it was him and Ivar, and they both got to the end and won, which is hilarious. They've never done reality TV, they've never done the shows
Right.
ever in their lives, and they get to the end. Like that's impressive as hell, man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I will agree with that. I'm more impressed with Dylan's game than Ivar's,
Oh yeah.
uh but yeah, I agree. Tom was like the star like the back half of the season for me where I was everything Tom did, I was just engaged the whole time. And then those last couple episodes without him, I was literally falling asleep at one point. Like I'm just like these challenges aren't even as entertaining without Tom there. Um like it was just tough and like I loved Carolyn. I think she is entertaining as hell as well and I really thought she was going to be able to get through with her personality being so unassuming. I thought she was going to be able to be the last traitor standing and then Danielle just played her right at the end.
Oh
So,
yeah. We talked episode after episode. I thought Carolyn was going to be the last one standing. I literally thought Danielle was a known traitor for a while too, and it was just surprising that people didn't know after each episode. And like we definitely did lose a lot of people that we liked early on too. I mean, like for example, I like Wells and I knew of Wells because I watched Bachelor with my mom for years, and then Chrishell was like a favorite, one of the top picks for me just because I watched Selling Sunset with her, and I know we were big fans of Jeremy and Tony,
yeah.
and you know what I mean. It sucked losing those personalities. They were all kind of like loud and proud and fun to watch. Like Wes was fun, so. I totally get the energetic part of the game, like being kind of drowned a little bit.
Yeah.
But vice versa. I still think Traders game wise, it was still exciting for me just because like you just kept watching these faithfuls fight each other because they did not all trust each other like they did in the last episode for a few rounds. Like after, I mean, Boston Rob said it himself. He definitely flipped the entire trader game and it just had a domino effect. Um, and
Yeah.
there's things I wish could have happened. Like for example, I wish instead of Danielle being picked or instead of Carolyn getting picked by um Efron there, I wish it was Danielle because Carolyn probably recruits Gabby
Yeah.
and I mean they probably kind of fly. Or
Yeah.
if Danielle just picks someone different. I just I just wish like that I feel like that was a big game movement. Like that's where the card started to get dealt at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously like the beginning of the season, we heard of this relationship between Danielle and Brittany from Reindeer Games. I didn't watch Reindeer Games, and I'm like I knew who Britney was because I did watch Britney play in Big Brother 14. So I knew her game, but I did not really know Danielle other than what I've heard about Danielle. So I was interested how that relationship was going to go, and I was under the impression, okay, they're close, and this is either going to lead to them actually working together the whole time, or one of them's going to screw the other over. Come to find out, the reunion that they actually haven't known each other that long, and I just don't really understand why a stupid reindeer game season of Big Brother ended up being so like meaningful for Danielle. Like why it really mattered in the long run
Isn't
for
that funny? I mean, like, I don't even remember Reindeer's games that much. I mean, I'm pretty confident Danielle got screwed over in that just like because like vice versa. I've never watched Brittany play, but I watched Danielle play in Big Brother. I think it was three, and I was so pissed she didn't win it because of how Big Brother was ran back then. I don't know if you know like how they switched it up a little bit.
I've heard about like they didn't sequester the jury,
Hmm.
which
And
is
I literally think Brit or Danielle wins if they, added that a year before, which I'm surprised they didn't at that time. But anyway, I forgot what was going on with that rant, but I definitely think Danielle like she was like definitely underestimated at the start, and then she definitely like she kept playing the card, and that's what I liked about Danielle's game. I mean, I like that old school mentality. Like, I don't give a shit if I'm swearing on my great aunt or my mom or my grandmother's grave. Like, I'm gonna say whatever I have to win. And I mean, that's what she was there to do. I mean, she was there to win money, man. She's not there to make friends. So I loved Danielle's game. It's just she definitely overplayed her cards a little too much.
yeah, she was way too messy for my liking, but also like I do wonder why every single season of something like this you get the casuals that don't seem to understand how these reality competition shows work at all. Like, why are people complaining about swearing on kids in a game where it's literally about murdering people? Like, I just don't really understand. Like, they very clearly never watched like old school Survivor, like Pearl Islands, you had Johnny Fairplay swearing in line about his dead grandma. And that's so like tame, honestly, compared to like today's standards. But like it's just it's hilarious to me that people are this upset about Danielle doing this. Like it really is not that big of a deal.
And they'll get over it. I mean, like, I like that. That's like the additive part that we miss from back in the day. You know what I mean? Like like all the new shows. There people that go on like Survivor, Big Brother, like Amazing Race, like all these shows now. People have watched the shows for years, whereas like Traitors, we're still getting people that have absolutely no idea what the hell's going on. I mean, like, I it's Ion, I think, who said like she thought survivors were actually survivors of like disease and like cancer and shit. She didn't know they were like survivor players. So I think that's hilarious. Like I love that they add people that have no gamemanship. I mean, like Gabby admits it every 5 minutes in the reunion how she had, she's not some games woman, but like she did exactly what she needed to do. She said facts when needed, and she sussed things out when was needed, and she got to the end. So I mean, like it's fun watching these like contestants square off against gamesmanship players because like
Yeah.
we seen this year they all killed each other basically. I mean, they just kept gunning for each other, and you had like people like Dolores and Ivar. They were just like this. They're like,
Yeah.
"Ha, you guys go ahead, do your thing." You know what I mean? And that's a strategy in its own way. I mean, just let people fall. Just keep chopping each other.
Yeah, I think that strategy is the most useful in traders. Like that's the best thing you can do in this game is just sit there on your hands and do nothing.
Yeah,
So,
like give your opinion outside the round table to people that are the loudmouths and go into the round table and speak a little bit. Like Ivar would speak a sentence or four every round table, but that was just to, remind people like I'm not 100% faithful like Chriselle otherwise. She was quiet at round tables and her time came, which I get. She just she was the optimal faithful at the point. So like yeah, there's a game of traders. You cannot be completely quiet, but you have to like balance yourself in like the ranking almost.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. It's interesting to like think about what works and what doesn't. I did want to touch on some other stuff that we just watched in the reunion as well. I mean, you have Bob the drag queen fighting with Dorinda, the first boot of the season, about apparently saying you don't know somebody is offensive. Like, girl, sit down. You literally sucked at this game and you're mad because you got murdered for being a loudmouth. Like,
To be fair, it was like one day of her just being loud that got them all to just strike at her.
well,
But
yeah,
it was completely hilarious, like how mad she was in that reunion. I mean, I don't know. I like people like Wells and Ivar probably had no idea who most of these people were. So
right,
like, I don't know. Bob the drag queen probably didn't even know who three-fourths of these people were. So,
right. He said
I
that.
don't
I
know.
mean, I don't, I just don't understand. Like, I just feel like I'm glad that she got voted out first. I mean, she would have brought drama, but like, I don't need someone like that
I
for
don't know. I probably would like the first few people that wrote out. I probably would have liked to see some of them play a little bit just to see what they would have done. I think they would have been really funny for us, like just dramatic as hell.
That's very fair. I mean, it would have been funny. I mean, it would have been better than the snooze fest we got, I think, for the last one.
Damn, snooze fest. Damn.
Yeah, I just it just didn't work for me. So, um
Wow.
people are gonna come for me. It's fine. Um
I'm like out here thinking this could have been one of the better Traders game like seasons, in my opinion. I cannot believe it.
I thought season two was better. I feel like for season two, I feel like the game was a little more interesting. You still had some of the big personalities around, even like the lower key players, like freaking John, who was basically the Ivar of last season, except he was like way more vocal and funny. Like everything that John said when he would give these like giant speeches with like a bunch of huge words thrown in, and I'm just like, John, you're hilarious. Like I don't know, like that you had Peter trying to lead this like faithful group and everybody getting pissed off that he's like, being like the golden boy. And like, I don't know, there was so much Sandra fighting with like Janelle over like drinking water. Like it was, come on, like there's just, and then you get to see Dan Giesling play again and kind of get to see more of like him being a flawed player this time because he was literally, one of the greatest players in any reality TV show where he made it to the end both times he played in Big Brother. So I don't know. It's really, really, I thought that was really, really interesting. I do think season three is better than season one because I think season one had the problem of all the newbies that they cast that time had no idea what they were doing, and people getting pissed off about the morals of Suri playing the game as Suri knows how to play, and people getting pissed off because Suri played to win instead of letting the faithfuls. Like it was just so stupid to me. So
I get it. I see it all ways, believe me. Like I think when I watch Traders, I look at it from a game perspective more than a personality contest, whereas in like Survivor, I definitely like the personality more than the gamesmanship. Like I'm a big fan of Gabon versus like a lot of people how they'll say they didn't play the game, like they there was no strategy. Well, guess what? I thought it was hilarious that entire season.
yeah.
Whereas when I watch Traders, I'm like, oh, I like the gamesmanship more. Like I like the fact that Dylan was running faithful and like he did one of the best moves he could have and got Gabby in on his back and worked with her. Like, and these Traders just sucking and he's taking full advantage of it. So I definitely I will always say I enjoyed this season. I definitely will agree with you. Two is better than three if I was going to rank them.
Yeah.
Um, I think this was a good season personally.
Yeah, I get that completely. And I agree in terms of like I like the personalities in Survivor as well, but I also like the gamesmanship better in that as well. Because the strategy in most Survivor seasons just rivals whatever traders can throw out there for strategy purposes. Um, yeah, I
That's fair.
mean, what?
No, all I was going to say is that's fair because I
Yeah,
mean, Traitors is not as comparable to Survivor like Survivor is to Big Brother. I
yeah,
mean, Traitors is definitely its own
right,
unique niche type of game.
right, exactly. The last thing, I mean, I feel like the only other thing besides maybe some other reunion moments we can bring up, but like the seer twist, which I think we both agreed it was at least put into the game way too late for it to matter. It was just really annoying that like, okay, Brittany's gonna get this and it's really not gonna matter. She's gonna bring Gabby to dinner and it's not gonna change anybody's mind at all. So. I mean, Brittany was just screwed no matter what from Danielle. So,
Yeah, I feel like we completely went from talking about Danielle going home and we could have forgotten to talk about the entire episode with all the shit we just watched with the reunion.
I know, I
Like
know.
like the seer twist, like I forgot about it until you just brought it up right now because it was so like inadequate to the season.
Hmm.
I get why they put it in there. Like they probably thought at that stage it was going to be really good with the type of game players they had, but unfortunately, like one of the reasons why you don't like this season as much as I do is because the players that we had at kind of at that point in the game were kind of like they were very tamed players. They were, not gamers. So like it was a thing where obviously the one gamer gets the freaking the award because she does well in the challenge. But it was just very bland. Like I also don't even think she picked the right person, honestly. I think if I was gonna rank them, Gabby was probably the second or third best option. I still think she should have taken Dylan.
Hmm.
She needed to understand that Dylan was the ringleader and that she needed to not gun for the ringleader there. But yeah, I thought and then she, announced at the breakfast that, she was Gabby was a faithful, which now I thought that was a good move. I thought that
Yeah,
she needed at that moment to work with Dolores and Gabby. She really needed to. And I think she tried that entire episode because we
yeah,
seen, she brought the girls together while Ivar and Dylan talked, and she was like, "Listen, we gotta get rid of Dylan," which I can understand at that point. Like, yeah, let's gun for Dylan, but I think she should have brought Dylan to breakfast, or sorry, to the like seer. I think she should have tried to fuck him over throughout the episode. Like, said he was a faithful, and then brought the girls together and was like, "Listen, I had to say that in front of him because blah blah." You know
right.
what I mean? Like, I think instead of just waiting till the round table, I think she could have advanced her conversation without it just being at the round table because I mean she kind of fucking got him, to be honest, at
She
the
did.
round table. I think it was just too late, and I think Brittany would agree with that it was too late. Like Dylan was just so wrapped up in the traitor cloak that, or sorry, in the faithful cloak that she wasn't going to win that contest.
Right, absolutely. And like even Dylan at one point is just like he doesn't know what to say and kind of is upset by like Brittany going for him so hard and she really would have got him had everything else not come too late. I really believe that.
I love when Brittany says in one of her exit interviews moments that the traitor should have gotten rid of Dylan earlier, which I
Yes.
100,000,000% agreed. And I think we've said it at certain episodes that we were shocked Dylan didn't go home at certain points of the episode. Like
Mhm.
the fact that Tom went before Dylan is still probably the most shocking murder to me personally
Yeah,
because I thought Tom was insane bait at those round tables. He should have not have been a murderer. He should have been a banish.
exactly. Like that was so ridiculous to me that they thought murdering Tom Sandoval was a good idea when he literally upset all the women at the round table. Like I just that's baffling to me. And then like Sam would have been easier like to deal with than Dylan. Like I don't know. Like they just completely dropped the ball.
Yeah, they really should have flipped some of them. Like they when they were thinking about Ivar instead of Sam, they really should have done Ivar
Yeah.
at that moment because yeah, he was like that's the same reason they got rid of Chriselle that they would have gotten rid of Ivar for. And I
Right.
mean, Chriselle at the time, I will give them that was a good move, whatever. But Ivar would have been a way better move instead of Sam, and then Dylan would have been a way better move than Tom. And I mean, I'm just critiquing from a watcher's
Yeah.
standpoint. I have no idea what was going on in the castle at the time, but I just see Danielle and Brittany having, and maybe even Carolyn at her times having a little more advantage if Tom's like cluelessness was in there still, and that Sam was brought to a round table to kind of get him sussed out. So I mean, Sam was kind of gaining ground. It almost seems like not to us as viewers, but I think they were giving him a lot of props at the reunion, and I think he was starting to gain some ground.
Hmm.
But I think he could have been pawned as a traitor for being like so quiet early on, kind of like how Brittany was pawned. So.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about how like maybe certain things would have went differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm in agreement with all that for sure.
I,
Um,
I also want to say I think Alan's fit was the
yes.
best fit ever at that breakfast. I loved that fit.
Yeah, it looked like did someone say it where it looked like the Floop suit from Spy Kids, like Alan Cummings' character from that movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It was
like
nice, bezaddled, whatever the hell that word is.
dazzled. Yes.
Yes, yeah, and he was just sparkling. I was like, damn, I need to buy me one of those.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very glad that Alan channeled his Floop again. So we were just missing the giant thumbs coming out. Um all right. Anything else? Are we ready to end Traitors?
I mean, I feel like at least we'll mention the challenge. I know we're not
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
biggest fans of the challenges this season, but um, what did you think about everyone flying in a helicopter, not in
I
it, but
I
dangling?
I did think that was hilarious. I did comment that when we were watching. I found that fun, and I would not have done that. I would have been freaking out because I hate heights. So, um, yeah,
Oh, oh, sorry, continue.
no, that was it. I would not
Uh,
do that.
I all I was gonna say is I thought it was hilarious how they kept because you could not do it and it wouldn't double your bags, or you could do it and you doubles each bag. I love how they would miss one and make one every time. So they literally canceled it all out near the end. Like if they just didn't do it, they would have still got the same amount of money. Funny enough, like
Mhm.
they like one for one to everything. So it was hilarious that that like worked out that way. But I thought the challenge was funny. I thought it was probably mid tier compared to some of them. I'm still the number one challenge is when Tom was sing humming with to the dolls. That was cracking me up.
Yeah, that was that was one of the most fun challenges of the season for sure. Yeah, I don't think there's a contest. I can't really think of anything that really beat it per se. I did think the Kate and Parvati challenge was kind of cool, but in terms of
Hmm.
entertainment value, it was definitely the Tom challenge.
Yeah, I can't even think of like a top three, honestly. Like maybe maybe like the one where they introduced Bus and Rob. I thought that was interesting. Like the
Oh
three of
yeah.
them. Maybe that's three for me. Probably the Kate and Parvati one was probably be two for me.
Mhm.
Um, Honestly, I thought the first two were lame. Did not
Yeah,
like those ones.
I mean the decision to like leave people on the raft I thought was kind of interesting to do early on, but like yeah, I mean it's definitely not the strength of this game. I think if I'm gonna watch a show for challenges, I mean Survivor for me is the best show that does these challenges. So I mean the way they even build stuff, like even for those watching, like I mean Australian Survivor and US Survivor that like this week the challenges were really cool. So
Well, how about we do this before we end this off? Let's come up with our reason or things that we want to see in season 4. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Um, I'll go with this one just before I forget it,
Yeah.
and then we'll ask what your number one is. I want to see less shields. I think that's my number one thing I want to see. I think there was way too many that were offered way throughout the season. Like, what was it? Almost every person except like 5 or 6 people were shielded
Yeah.
at the start. You
Mhm.
had like 8 shields the next episode. Like, it was just so many compared to the first 2 seasons.
Oh, I
Maybe throw something in there like search for a shield, like in the castle, like you get a clue, like kind of like an idol. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
like to see some kind of advantage to like find a shield. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And to have it be so publicly this season, when like last season, the fun of last season was the shield was secret and it literally saved Bergie. And like Dan had no clue that like he pushed for Bergie to go and then it got stopped by the shield. Like that was the fun of
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
Um yeah, I actually really agree with that. I don't know. I just want like the challenges, I guess, to mean more. Like I still don't feel like they add all that much to what is happening. Like I feel like the times when they've added to it have been because of what has happened with the players, like from Bob the Drag Queen, making Boston Rob mad, by calling him out, to like going back to season 1 where you have Kate like literally throwing money away and everybody getting pissed off.
Oh my God.
I think like that stuff is what makes some of these challenges so good. And so I don't know. I could just do without the challenges to be honest in this
Oh wow.
show. Yeah. I honestly could. Like um
Yeah, I can agree with like the point you're making. Like, incorporate the challenges to mean something in the game. Like, maybe instead of just a complete challenge where you take them out of the castle and you do some dumb heist, like maybe incorporate the game into the castle while they're socializing the entire day or something. And like the traders have to do missions, and as faithfuls you have to like figure it suss out or something, or you're in 2 teams or something and you have to like complete missions in the cat like that, like make the traders game traders like oriented in the castle. Like, maybe it's the fucking you have to find the missing clue and then that's the shield, but you can't let people know. Like, the goal is to get the shield without people knowing you grabbed it or some shit, you know what I mean? Like, try to incorporate something into it. Because I totally see what you're saying. Because some of them were snooze fest challenges. I won't lie. Like this season, like that, the clown one. I didn't give a damn about that one. I
yeah.
was like, that is whatever. You guys go in there and pop your balloons. Call it a day. I was
Well,
like,
it
whatever.
wasn't yeah, it wasn't it was both of I mean the first one early on was a little bit more fun, but like that second one, that was one of my least favorite challenges. That's one where I almost fell asleep. So it was terrible. So
I
yeah.
also want more trader challenges. I liked how they had to, like, in season 2, slip something in a cup to kill somebody.
Yes, yes, the Ekansu
In
challenge.
this season, like, they had to privately figure out how to put 3 names in coffins. Like,
Yeah.
give me more of those. Maybe sub some of the shitty challenge ideas out and put in like a trader like challenge for like something. You know what I mean? Like,
Agreed.
get instead of so many damn round tables, like give the traders an advantage because I think traders do need an advantage in this game a little more than they are. Like, I think
Mhm.
I don't know. They just keep adding traders in. They just keep getting killed off, whatever. But I think they
Yeah.
need to either, sorry, I'm jumping off topic of my comment now, but they either need to blind rock draw for traders instead of just picking, or they just need to split up like so many gamers as traders. Like,
Yeah.
they could have easily thrown in, like, they could have been like Wells, Bob Drag Queen, and Danielle. That probably would have been nice. Like,
Yeah.
and then Wells probably would have played the game completely different, or like a
Yeah.
Chriselle, Danielle, like someone who's not
A
fucking
gamer.
thinking game,
Yeah.
because you have so many damn gamers in there. Like, I don't
Right.
know.
Yeah, everybody there had been on a competition show. I mean, Bob the drag queen does RuPaul RuPaul's Drag Race, and I think that's still like a competition show. So like yeah, it's a bit ridiculous. I totally agree. I guess before we go, I mean, who would you like to see on Traitors season 4?
Damn, that's a good question. I did not expect you to throw that one at me.
Yeah.
I'd still we've said this, I've said this name before, but just to throw it back out there, I'd definitely like to see Fair play
Oh,
the
yeah.
game. Um, if I was gonna say a different player, uh, Derek from Big Brother. What the fuck's his last name? Not Big D, but the other Derek. He's on season 20. I think they're on the same fucking season. It's Derek X, I think it is. But anyway, I want to see Derek. I think he would be really, really interesting. He actually won Amazing Race,
Oh,
so I would
wow.
love to see Derek play this game.
Okay.
If that's even his name. If it's not his name, I'm gonna crack up after this. But
I can't help you there, but all right. I'm thinking so I thought of like Jesse from Survivor 43. I think his strategic mind would be really, really interesting. I don't know, put him and Cody from that season in together. I mean, if they're not gonna be on Survivor 50 together, which I honestly think they're gonna put them on Survivor 50 together anyway, but get them in somewhere else. Like get them to interact like Danielle and Britney. Like it's going to be awkward, and we actually know that Jesse legitimately had a relationship with Cody and screwed him over. Like, so I think that'd be really, really fantastic. And Cody was a pretty fun character on 43, even though 43 is not one of my favorite seasons. But um, all right, and then yeah, you said fair play. Fair play would be really good.
hold on, I got another one for you. Chef Ben from Below Deck. I want to see him on this freaking show. I think he would be hilarious. He was actually a cameo on House of Villains for a
Okay.
second. But Chef Ben would be so fun. We got a great one in Kate, and that was actually Kate's right hand man in Below Deck. They
Okay.
would they would like the first few seasons they were on together. They were always going back and forth. I loved both of them. So if Kate's on it, I need to see some Ben. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. And then bring back Tom Sandoval. Like I don't care that they've brought back Kate. Like let's bring back Tom for the next season. Like even if it's bringing him in a little bit later, I just want to see I just want to see him just like be entertaining again, and people get pissed off by him. It'd be really funny. So,
All right, I got some wild ones for you. I want to see who would I want to see actually? I don't know if I want to use that one. I want to see Tom Brady in there. That's who I want
oh,
to see, football player. I want to see a
yeah.
football player in there, and I think Tom Brady would be funny as hell in the Traitors game.
That would be a funny one. So, um, I don't know. Ken Jennings might be funny. Jeopardy, like, I don't know. Like, how would like the best Jeopardy player fare in there? I mean, similar to him, obviously one of the other best Jeopardy players. Get James Holzhauer in there. Like, Holzhauer would be really, really fun. Dude has a great mind for these types of games, and I don't think he's been given that time to show that aspect of himself, because Jeopardy is obviously not that type of game, but like he showed on Jeopardy how to game the system. So I don't know. Like I would love to see him in a game where he's voting people off, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
I want to see Jack from the Circle on there too.
Oh yeah, Jack would be cool.
He was a big Survivor fan, and he went on the Circle instead. So I want to see his social game put to work in a face-to-face version.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of options that could come into play.
I liked the WWE throw in of Nikki. I want to see John Cena throw him
Oh
in.
my God, John Cena. You can't see him, so you can't vote him off because you don't see him. Oh my God.
Make Cena a fucking traitor. I'll die. I will die. That dude would probably, he's either gonna be terrible or he's gonna be like the funniest traitor.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, he's gotten to show more of his like acting comedic chops now in like the last decade. So I mean, like, yeah, I mean, he'd be pretty funny,
We put
honestly.
cartoon characters in this. Shadow the Hedgehog, throw him in there
Oh
too.
yeah, Shadow being super edgy and like, I mean, as long as he's with a Latina in there, like Shadow loves Latinas.
You just have Sonic and Shadow and Traitors. That would actually be fucking hilarious. They'd probably gun for each other so quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Get Dr. Eggman in there.
Oh
Like,
my God.
I mean,
Who's winning an entire Sonic universe of Traitors? I don't even know.
I don't know. I wish that Brant Steele had a trader simulator. Unfortunately, they don't.
I cannot believe they don't. We need to create it. We're gonna
I,
do it.
I mean,
I'm calling the brand steel. We're
they've
doing it.
unfortunately fallen behind on getting the other like Australian Survivor and US Survivor simulators up there because they still don't have like Winners at War or any of the new era or any more of the Australian Survivor seasons. So I'm like a little shocked by that. It's a little sad because I would love. Uh, I also think at one point they were going to make the Survivor Simulator interact more interactive.
Mhm.
And like then they just gave up on it without saying a word. So like, or I think the only word they said was like it's too hard, and it's like. I mean, you've made this many simulators and like I don't and you made like Big Brother interactive on there, so I don't know why you're not able to make Survivor interactive. But I don't know much about like that type of coding, so I it might actually be too complicated. So I don't know.
I'm sure they're just so busy now. Like the people who run it are probably just busy in life now. You know what I mean?
That's
Like
true. That's true. I mean, yeah, they're adults, so you
I
know.
would throw in some current or past Big Brother players into the house. I would love to see like a Tucker or Chelsea.
Mm,
Um, who the hell else could there be? I liked Cam. I think he'd be funny to see a different version of Cam in there. Yeah,
yeah,
I probably like I would love to see at least someone from the past 2 or 3 seasons of Big Brother. I would like to see one of them.
yeah.
Like one of the standouts, like Christian or something. One of them would be fun.
Yeah, more new era Survivor players I could see. I mean, Rachel from 47, I could see her playing in that type of game. I mean,
Oh
it
yeah.
got a great mind for that. She's good at the challenges, even though they don't really matter, but like in Traitors, but like I don't know. Like I think she'd be interesting. Let's see. I mean, for the memes, if we're gonna put a meme pic just to see how much it would piss everybody off, including me, Banu from 46.
Oh my
Do
God.
not do not put him in. I'm kidding on that one, but like he would just talk about having to win a million hearts, and then
I thought
like
you were gonna say Gabler. I
oh,
would
I mean we could say Gabler too, but Banu would like legitimately actually piss off fans because like oh my God, dude would break down crying every single round table.
I want to see Tim Tebow in the Trader's house. I'm calling it right now. I'd love to see some Tim Tebow or a Barstool Sports player.
Oh yeah,
Put in Dan. Put him in.
Tommy Smokes. Let's get Tommy
Tommy
Smokes in there.
Smokes.
I mean, I'd rather see him on Survivor after he pitched himself to Jeff. So like,
Why
uh,
not both?
yeah, that's true. I mean,
He's gonna be on Survivor 49 or 51, and then he's gonna go Traders season 5. We
oh my
got it
God.
confirmed here.
Can you, speaking of like every like traders, or Barstool players on traders, like Kirk would be hilarious because he'd just blow up at everybody every single round table.
They need to do their own version, actually.
Oh my
I
God.
am pitching it to them. They need to do Traders.
Yeah, yeah, I mean Kirk would probably like get himself voted out early but like it'd be hilarious. Um I don't know. There's quite a few bars. Rico Bosco, like we like get Rico
Oh
on
my
there.
goodness.
Rico would be hilarious. I mean Dave Portnoy just being like Dave Portnoy. Like,
Yes. Dave. Put big man Dave in there.
oh my God. Like,
I'm
I
just
don't
trying
know.
to think of other shows. I don't know. I think I'm running out of ideas. Put
I
Austin
think
Fote in there. Come on.
yes, put you in there for sure. I mean, I would say put me in there, but I think I'd get eaten alive. So
They need what they. All right, here's another thing I want season 4 and or 5 to do if they're already doing 4. Freaking make it split again. Throw some randoms in there. I want to play. I want to
Well,
play like make it
yeah.
like UK a little bit. You don't have to do like all newbies if you don't want to. Sprinkle some, sprinkle a little few like gamers there and there if you want. But come on, throw some newbies in there. We want a shot.
Well, as long as they're not like they were in season one, where you have like Quentin and Andy and
They
people.
didn't even know the game. That's the thing I'm saying. Like throw in people who watch traders, know reality
Yeah.
games. Like throw them in there with like the Sharks and see what happens. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
way more watchable than season 1. Like if you're throwing like me and like people who actually like don't throw Pirate Sarah in there. Throw like people who play the game.
Oh, throw Kevin in there so Kevin can just use his tiny hands the entire time. I think that'd be hilarious. Throw Kristen in there. Kristen would just be her usual villainous self at the round tables.
She'd just be drunk at every round table.
Oh my God. Kristen's gonna come back at you for that one. All right. Well, I think that's it. For everything else on the channel, I mean, check out our Australian Survivor coverage, our US Survivor coverage. We got those going at this point. Deal or No Deal Island will be finishing up as well. So that's kind of the main stuff that's happening on the channel at the moment. Obviously, once those shows kind of clear up, then we'll be doing some other stuff that we've been teasing, and we'll be doing Pokemon season 2 also in a couple months. So hopefully looking to bring that back. So
You'll
yeah,
be seeing this face more, everybody. You only
yes.
see me on Australian Survivor for the next few weeks, but Pokemon will be here soon.
Yeah, we're gonna make it better than season 1 as well. So I mean we've already teased that we're doing it up against Joe and Ryan. So
And we're gonna win because they don't know they're not gonna keep up with this duo. I
yeah,
mean,
exactly. We're the
I might have killed
so.
every Pokemon except one, but we're still gonna get through it all quicker than them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We have the experience of Kanto already. So yeah.
Yeah, we've already been Pokemon Masters. Where are they at? They're brand new. They're just starting out in whatever that town is in fucking Johto. I don't even know it.
Yeah, I New Bark Town. But anyway,
There you go, yeah. They're just little new Barkians. We're Palatinians.
yes, yes. All right, well, we'll end it there. So subscribe to the channel, comment, like, share, and we will see you all next time on the Tribe of Nerds.